hinge on a Nintendo DS Lite. And you can see, right now, the upper LCD does work. And usually, yeah, that's what happened. And we want to make sure that the pieces we're going to use today, the top part is not broken, but the inner part is broken, as you can see. And that's what we're going to replace with. You can get a replacement kit at nintendorepairshop.com. Here we'll show you some of the tools we're going to use today. Some tweezers. You might not need them, but I just use them. A hobby knife or X-Acto knife. Small Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver. A tri-wing screwdriver, which you can also get at nintendorepairshop.com. And some just standard old pliers. Let's get started. First we'll go ahead and turn it off. And we'll flip it over. Get your Phillips head screwdriver and take off the battery cover. And then take your battery out. And then you're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver, you're going to take out this screw right here, and this one right here. Now take your tri-wing screwdriver and take out this screw right here in the corner, this one in the corner, and this one right here. And don't forget about the little black tri-wing screwdriver back here. And get your flathead screwdriver or your X-Acto knife and pop off these two little rubber foots, little covers, and get your Phillips head screwdriver and take out the two screws inside. And if you have a slot cover down here, make sure you take that out. And then we're just going to flip it over, start at the back, and kind of separate it. Get your flathead screwdriver, and you can use that to just kind of go around and pry it apart. But don't apply too much force. If you're applying a ton of force, then there might be something caught, and you don't want to break your DS. So just gently go around. It might take a little bit of force, especially around here. There it goes. And it should just pop right out. And then just set the cover aside. And then grab your tweezers, or you can just use your finger or a screwdriver and pop off the little springs. And try to keep the whole assembly together because it's a whole lot easier to put back if you keep the whole thing together. Set that off to the side. And same with the other one. Just kind of put your finger on the back of it to hold in the little pivot point to keep the whole assembly together, and it will make your life a whole lot easier. And get the tweezers and pull off these two little button snaps right there and there. Phillips head screwdriver and take out this screw right here. Then you're going to take the black antenna wire, go ahead and grab it on the other side, and just kind of pull it right under the game slot. And if it doesn't come, just kind of wiggle it and pull it through. Don't try to force it because you might tear the end off of it. And open it up and push from the inside, push the LCD out, and the motherboard comes apart from the case. Now you're going to take this little black hinge right here that's holding the ribbon cable. You're going to flip that up. It's like a little lever. And then the ribbon cable should just come right out. And then you're going to grab your Phillips head screwdriver and take out these two long screws right here holding the hinge end in. Alright then, and take the little light thing off. And then you're just going to kind of slide it out. And then the ribbon cable slides through this little slit in the case. And make sure you feed it through the slit instead of pulling it because you might rip the ribbon cable. Then you'll have to replace your whole upper LCD. And you might want to take the buttons out so it's easier so you can flip this over and work it out, but I've done this so many times I don't have to, and you can just kind of set that over to the side. Now you're going to grab either your flathead screwdriver or your X-Acto knife, and you're going to peel off these four little rubber caps that are hiding some hidden screws in each corner. Grab your Phillips head screwdriver and take out the four screws that you have just uncovered. Alright, now once you have those four screws out, the top, upper, and the inner should just kind of slide apart, and you're going to move them. The outer part's going to go that way, the inner part's going to go the other way. Or if you're holding it like this, it'd be the other way, but you slide it off, and it should just come right off. And don't force it because you might break off the tabs and you don't want that. And now pick up the antenna and kind of tug on it and it should pull right through. And we're going to take out the LCD. And remember, push from the inside. And it might be a little tough, but it should come right out. Then grab the microphone. Pull the microphone through. And then the ribbon cable of the upper LCD. This might be hard for some of you guys, but you have to take this and you have to roll it in itself. Not too tight because you might crimp it, but at least small enough that it'll fit back through the hole. And it pops right out. And make sure to save your little ring, because you definitely need that. Make sure you haven't left any parts inside, and then that can go in the trash. Now you're going to take your replacement case. You're going to start out by putting the microphone back in. And kind of line it up. You might want to grab your flathead screwdriver and kind of push it in. Make sure that's in there good. And now you're going to take the LCD and you're going to have to roll it back up again. And you're going to have to feed it back through that hole. Alright. Put the LCD back in. And then your antenna. And you can just kind of lift up that speaker. It should pop out there at the bottom. The antenna fits on those two little tabs right there. Kind of sits in place. Put your speaker in. Now you're going to take the microphone wire and stick it through. Comes out the other side. And same with the antenna wire. And pull it through. Now you need to roll up the ribbon cable again with the wires around it and grab your little ring, feed it into the wires over the ribbon cable, and kind of fit it in the side of the new case. It might not fit in there perfectly, but you'll get it. And there we go. Now grab the top, the outer case. Remember, put it back on slightly off because you had to slide it back together. It'll kind of go on, it'll look about like that, about that distance. And now you're just going to want to slide it back together. Might take a little bumping. Don't bang it on the table, but you know. Alright. Now we're going to put our screws back in. After replacing the 4 screws, grab your little black or whatever color they are, the little covers that hid your screws, and put them back on the 4 screws.